Mark here from newhometricks.com. Today I want to give you a quick update as to how we're getting on with our Ring video doorbells, specifically focusing on the motion detection feature. You may remember from some of the previous videos that I've done on this topic that I hadn't yet turned on the motion detection feature at that point. We have now had it turned on for a little while, so I wanted to give you a quick update just to let you know how we've been getting on with that and how it works. When you first turn on the motion detection feature within Ring, you have to set your motion zones. We've got the Ring Video Doorbell Pro, so it uses these motion zones. Effectively, it brings up the live view. The screenshot that I'm showing you here isn't from the front of our house, but it's a good illustration of how this works. You effectively draw onto the video display the boxes to tell Ring where you want motion to be detected. So in this regard, you can exclude areas where you don't want motion alerts to be triggered. So maybe if you've got a street going by the front of your house, for example, and you don't want motion detection to be triggered by every passing car, no problem, you just exclude those areas. Now this is in distinction from the standard Ring video doorbell, where you only get to really tell it the radius from the front of the doorbell out where you want motion to be detected. The Ring Video Doorbell Pro approach with the motion zones is a little bit more customizable and a little bit easier to work with. You can literally draw exactly the shapes where you want motion detection to be triggered. Once you've set that up, the only other decisions to make are how sensitive you want the motion detection to be. Make it too sensitive and every littlest movement will trigger a motion detection alert. If you don't make it sensitive enough, however, it might not trigger motion detection when you want it to. We've got it set in the middle setting, which seems to work fairly well for us. In the front of our property, we've got one or two plants and bushes. Obviously, when they're moving in the wind on a particularly windy day, you don't want that to be triggering motion alerts, and so far so good. That hasn't been happening on that middle ground setting. The next door neighbour's cat wandering past has triggered motion alert events, but we're not too bothered about that. That's only kind of once a day on an occasional basis. Other than that, it is working as we want it to. When somebody approaches or passes by the front of our house, it does trigger the motion detection. If a car pulls onto the driveway, again, it triggers the alerts for us there. So we know if a postman's dropped a letter into our letterbox because it'll trigger an alert, and we can see that in the Ring video doorbell history. The other setting that you can configure is whether you want to turn motion detection alerts off at certain times of the day. Now, motion detection alerts primarily come through on your smartphone, and you may be silencing notifications on your phone using your phone's Do Not Disturb feature. That's how I certainly work with my phone. So you might not need to use the capabilities built into the Ring app to do this, but it's there if you want to. Another feature that you can use is to snooze motion alerts. This is actually a new feature that Ring have introduced relatively recently. One of the items of feedback that Ring had heard here was that if it's you, if you're the person going out into the front of your, in front of your camera, particularly if you're working outside in front of your house, for example, maybe you're doing some garden maintenance, maybe there's a driveway and you're washing your car, you don't want the motion alerts being triggered constantly because you're there. So you can snooze motion alerts from anywhere between 15 minutes up to 2 hours to shut it up and stop it generating lots of alerts if you know there's going to be lots of activity there and you don't need to know about that. Other than that, Ring works in the same way with motion alerts that it works with any other event. The Ring system is an event-driven system, so it's not recording continuously. It'll only activate recording when an alert is generated. So if you have the cloud recording subscription, if a motion detection event is triggered, it will start recording for a couple of minutes, and it's usually able to capture a few seconds before the motion alert was triggered as well. So it's got some stuff in its buffer there that it can put into the video, but it will then trigger the recording and then it will upload that to the cloud. So if you miss the motion detection event, you can go back and review that in the log, look at the video and see what was going on. If you do answer the alert, if you're by your phone when the alert comes in and you acknowledge that and open the app, it will immediately take you into live view so you can see what's going on live. And from that point forward, you can work with the Ring Video Doorbell app in exactly the same way as if you'd received a doorbell push, if someone had actually pushed the doorbell. So you can enable the microphone and speaker. You can talk to someone if they're hanging around at the front of your house and you want to scare them away if it's someone that looks a bit dodgy. So you've got that ability to immediately just use all the features from within the camera view to take advantage of that. That's probably about all there is to say about this. So far, as I say, it's been working fairly well for us. We've not got too many false positives, too many detection alerts when nothing's been happening. Occasionally you'll get something like a droplet of water fall on the front of the camera if it's been particularly bad weather, and that will trigger a lot of motion alerts, but that's about the only time that we find that it behaves oddly. Other than that, it's generally working fairly well for us on the settings that we've got. I have written up a companion blog post if you'd like to read more. You can find the link to that in the description below, or go on the website, newhometricks.com. If you've liked this video, please share it. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.